Hey guys, it's Paul. Did you really think I wasn't going to do it? Majorkill releasing a workout video. You think I'm not going to watch it? You think I'm not going to weigh in? I'm a combat veteran, MMA fighter, YouTuber. I mean, come on. I can't leave this alone. I got to see what is the greatest bro in Warhammer 40K lore fandom got to get that swole chest. Let's see. Let's find out.
And gal, in light of my Custodes video a little while ago, I asked you lads and ladies if you wanted to see how I put on muscle and keep the fat off. The majority of you were like, yeah alright, let's have a look. So here we are. The idea is that while I'm not like a fitness YouTuber or a bodybuilder, I do have a healthy life balance, you know. I get on the beers with the boys, I smash entire peri-peri chicken pizzas just by myself, and I don't have the best genetics for muscle gain or fat loss, but I'm still able to.
Okay, I just want to point this out that in the bro world, at least in the US, and I'm pretty sure in Australia as well, that if you can become a fitness influencer, you have ascended to the peak of brodom. And I say this lovingly because it means that people are paying you to be jacked, that you are so jacked, the world has thrown money at you for it. And that is as close to ascending to bro godhood as you can possibly get. We all wish we were, man. We all wish we were. Even fighters who aren't supposed to care about how they look, I can promise you from the bottom of my heart, they love it. They love having the better your abs are, the more cred you have. Full stop. I mean, you can follow any UFC fighter on Instagram. They 100% of the time have shirtless pics. And I'm here to tell you, they don't train shirtless. Not unless it's like 1,000,000 degrees. No, they take their shirts off so that they could show off their abs on the gram. And you could follow my Instagram. And I don't even have decent abs. I mean, I smashed Mai Tais and fried food in Puerto Rico, and I still took shirtless pics because in my heart, I'm still a bro.
Walk around at 10 to 12% body fat, and I occasionally bang some absolute stunners. I've also never taken any form of steroid in my life, which is something that 95% of fitness influencers can't truthfully claim.
He's right. He is absolutely right. I could tell you that of the fighters that I trained with, up to the professional level, you could tell. It was pretty obvious who was on steroids. I mean, look, get on Google natural bodybuilding, and then Google bodybuilding. And you could see the difference between the competitions where competitors are tested and the ones where they aren't. It's pretty stark. And for even more evidence of just how widespread steroid use is, the UFC around 2016 went from having basically an easily beatable steroid test, i.e. they were just testing to make sure you weren't juiced to the gills on fight night, to an out-of-competition testing regimen on par with the Olympics. And you can see so many fighters. They called it Deflategate, obviously a parody of the other Deflategate, because so many fighters looked deflated, especially fighters in their 30s. It was just like someone let the air out of their tires. It was hilarious because they had been cheating all along, and it was kind of messed up to know that they'd been hurting and giving people concussions while juiced to the absolute gills. But it's pretty funny to see the before and after pics. So shout out to Majorkill for being honest about that.
So if you're new to the gym, then this video is perfect for you. If you've been gymming for a little while but you don't really know what you're doing, this video is also perfect for you. If you're an intermediate or even advanced lifter and you want to mix up your workout a little bit, then this video is also great for you. And if you're just a homo that likes to jerk off to Majorkill pumping iron, then this is the holy grail of videos for you.
I wonder how many people in his channel are like that.
Today we'll be going over what I do for chest day, the proper techniques, the exercises, how much you should rest, proper form, all that jazz. If this does well and you guys enjoy it and you want to see more, then over the next coming weeks I'll release the workout day for, my other muscle groups. I could even end up showing you guys what I eat or what supplements I take. This will be a much more genuine workout video than my 69k subscriber one, that was pretty much just a piss take. But this is like actually what I do. Also, Nurgle has snuck back into the city, so we're kind of locked down, which means, no cameraman today, it's just me. I mean, look at how ghetto this camera setup is right now. So bear with me.
Does he have a home gym? Is Majorkill making home gym money? Because, damn, maybe I need to sell some off-brand minis that aren't Warhammer related. But if you do want to make sure I make money so I can afford a nicer home gym, check out the merch. I have a whole bunch of new stuff that's coming in. This is the old school stuff, but check below. I've got all these like fun parody mashup shirts that I think you guys should totally check out.
There's not going to be any B-roll. Let's get into it. The first thing you're going to want to do at the start of every single workout is a warm-up. Especially as you start lifting heavier. A warm-up will prevent injury, make the workouts feel a lot smoother, and it'll let you lift a lot heavier. For chest, I love to do a cable warm-up. For the first set, I put the cables to the top, lock my body, and then bring them forward nice and controlled, all the while I'm pinching my shoulders back.
Yes, you should absolutely warm up. I can't emphasize this enough. I actually teach a very early morning jiu-jitsu class at my gym, and we warm up literally with yoga. And that's because, of course, like me, I assume everyone has rolled out of bed within the preceding 30 minutes. So it's really important to loosen up your muscles and the tendons, and even there's some, kind of bro-y science that says that there's actually like lubricating fluids in your joints that allow them to stretch and extend, and doing lower impact activity to sort of get them warmed up is absolutely essential. And to be clear, when I do that yoga warm-up, it's not actually stretching, and Majorkill's right. Stretching as a warm-up is actually shown to slightly increase the rate of injuries in at least some studies. So, yeah, you're better off just putting your body through some low-impact, lightweight range of motion stuff, which is exactly what he's doing.
As this is a warm-up, you want to have the weights pretty light. Do this for 10 reps, then move the cables down to the middle, and once again lock your body, and then squeeze those 10 reps out. Finally, move the cables to the bottom and hit those 10 reps.
Range of motion. Okay, Majorkill. Okay. I was fully prepared for this to be super bro-y, but alright, so far so good.
The set at the bottom will likely be the hardest, but you don't want to be blowing your load this early, so unless you can get a comfortable 3 sets of 10, then you need to turn the weight down more. The rest times for this should be pretty short, about 30 seconds to a minute. The idea is that you want to wake up your entire chest, hence each cable position targets and wakes up a different part. To finish off the warm-up, you need to open up your rear delts. But Majorkill, your delts aren't a part of your chest. Shut the fuck up, Timmy! Before I use your nuts as a medicine ball. The majority of exercises engage your rear delts. By doing a quick warm-up on your rear delts, you'll greatly improve the mobility and the comfort of your heavier lifts. Trust me. If you already lift and you've never warmed up your rear delts before doing a big bench press, do it, it'll change your life. To warm it up...
Again, I'm surprised. Maybe bro science has evolved in the 10 years, since I kind of disconnected from it. Once I got serious about MMA, I realized that lifting for bodybuilding was like not how I wanted to train. And so I did stuff that looks more like a CrossFit workout, but with a little more programming. That was my strength and conditioning. And of course, my standard army workouts, which was just a lot of running and calisthenics. And I've never really gone back because I appreciate the efficiency of some of these other styles of workout, and I'm not as committed to being big. But that said, one of the things that's universally true is that your body is this interconnected system of muscles that all have to work together. And it's especially true in mixed martial arts and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where, your power in your punch, you need a strong chest, but to have a strong chest that you're going to have throw this maximal amount of power, you need to have your hips and your hip flexors strong. You need to have your back strong, right? Back injuries are super common in MMA, and they're not always from lifting. Sometimes they're just from torquing yourself really hard. And, you have to make sure that you have the whole tunnel, we're going to say, of muscles that can work together. even tiny ones in your back, little tiny muscles along your spine, give you that stability so that you can generate power and flow through a punch. So again, knowing that you have to work both the active muscle, right, the chest, but also you have to warm up the delts that give it its stability through that range of motion is, again, a pretty sound piece of advice.
We're going to do a cable rear delt fly. This does not need to be heavy in the slightest. Honestly, doing it with next to no weight is a good idea. You want to lock your body and slightly bend your arms. Then you will want to pull your shoulders back, all the while keeping your arms locked and slightly bent. Keep your wrists flat facing down. Do this for 12 reps and then congratulations, give yourself a pat on the back, you just finished your warm up. Now it's time to enter the cum zone. This might sound like some fucking heresy, but barbell flat bench is a shit exercise for new lifters, especially if you're trying to go super heavy with low reps. This is because if you're new to the gym, your body and strength will be very asymmetrical, and barbell benching just makes that worse. New lifters also fuck up bench press form all the time, meaning they make next to no gains and they just get injured. So whilst I will show you how to bench press properly today, the main chest exercise you should get excited for is the incline dumbbell press. This shit is the holy grail of chest. Building your upper chest gives you that wide Hollywood fuck me look, and using the dumbbells means we'll also correct your asymmetrical strength. The way I like to do this is called the reverse pyramid technique, and it's something I learnt off a dude called Gregor Gallagher. Before I show you what the reverse pyramid technique is, I'll show you the proper technique for this exercise.
Okay, he and I are again in agreement on this. I stopped doing bench press 7 years ago, something like that, 5. I did something to my chest. I didn't do something. I was dumb, was too cool to get submitted with a Kimura, and instead just ground it out, and then woke up the next day and realized I couldn't hold any weight in like a very specific position. And I was able to bench because I compensated with the other arm, but the result was that I kept re-injuring myself because I would add lots and lots and lots of weight to the bench. And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start from zero, and I'm not going to let these asymmetries get developed. So I'm going to use the dumbbell press. And I never looked back. Haven't bench pressed since. I mean, I'm sure I did it once, like goofing around or something. But yeah, no, got away from that entirely.
Adjust the bench to about here, but it can be slightly more inclined if you want. Plant your legs equally so you're stable and strong. Then for the actual lift, you want to slightly curve your back so it comes off the bench a tiny bit. Then get the dumbbells in front of your face, and here's the important part. Roll your wrists out a little bit so that the corners of each dumbbell are nearly touching, and bring your elbows closer to your body.
Okay, here's a point in which we differ. I don't like to go to this perpendicular. Again, as a MMA fighter, jiu-jitsu athlete, I expect to have to use my body in really strange contortions. Literally the other day, I was trying to force my way out of a submission by reinforcing my wrist and reaching behind me and trying to like force the issue out, right? So when you're in these kind of weird contortions, when I do my strength and conditioning, I really want to take my arms through the fullest range of motion possible, but I could never, ever do it with that weight. I do it with maybe like a third of that.
See, a lot of people flare their elbows out like they're about to become a fucking chicken wing. When you do the lift on this, you want to have your elbows diagonal to your shoulders, not a straight line. This is the safest and also the best way to gain strength and muscle. The final detail is that you want to pinch your shoulders back. It might seem like a lot to remember, but this is a very natural way for your body to be as it lifts, so it's really easy to get the hang of once you give it a shot. Now for the actual exercise. After a light warm-up to make sure your form is good and the movement feels natural, you want to do 5 reps on your heaviest. Rest for 3 minutes, grab slightly lighter dumbbells, do 6 reps, rest for 3 minutes, grab slightly lighter dumbbells, and then do 8 reps. The reverse pyramid technique. Now a huge part to gaining muscle and size is progressive overload, which means you always want to be adding weight to your primary lifts whenever you can. So once you can either cream each set, or you can do 6 reps, 7 reps, and 10 reps, then it's time to move up and do the next heaviest dumbbells. Doing this, I was able to take my incline dumbbell lift from 15 kilos all the way to 45 kilos, and I'm only 22. 45 kilo dumbbells on anything, especially incline press, is solid.
Okay, I gotta say, I'm just a little bothered by the fact that you can see his range of motion has increased tremendously with this lighter weight. Again, you're a bodybuilder. God, I hope you never put yourself in a situation where you're like me and like too cool for school and like getting your shoulder popped out by someone. But, you know, again, my philosophy is always like, you know, I lift to prevent injuries and to increase my strength and conditioning so I can keep up with the 22-year-olds in my gym. So I'm all about that range of motion. But if you're just a bodybuilder, I don't think there's any harm in just going to that parallel. But you should have the same consistent range of motion through all your lifts.
And you'll get there in no time. Congrats. Give yourself a pat on the back. You just did the primary exercise for today's workout. Now it's time to move on to bench press. For best results, you want to mix high volume exercise with high weight, low rep exercise. So our next exercise is a higher volume bench press. For this, we'll be doing 3 sets of 8 reps. For form, you want to copy a lot of the stuff you just did for the incline dumbbell press. Slight curve of the back, plant your feet, pinch your shoulders back, and then think about Lindsay Lohan before she became a drug addict. That kind of stuff.
He means, never mind. I'm not even going to joke about it.
Where to grab on the bar? The big question. It depends on a few things.
Let me know in the comments what you think my Lindsay Lohan joke was going to be.
Bigger and wider people will naturally have a wider grip. You'll also find as your chest blows up and gets bigger, it will broaden you out and give you a wider grip. When I started, I used to hold a thumb's length from the middle line. Over time as I got bigger, this widened, and now I have my pinky on the outer line. In retrospect, my grip was too narrow when I started, so I would suggest experimenting on a lightweight to find what width suits you. Generally, you are strongest when your wrist is directly above your elbow. Speaking of wrist, do not let your wrist bend backwards during the lift. If this is occurring and you can't help it, then invest in some wrist straps. There is no shame in wrist straps. I use them for all my bench press lifts over 100 kilos. As you lift, you want to bring the barbell to your nipples or just below. You do not want to go above your nipples, as this awkwardly engages your shoulders, and if you fail the rep, there is a chance you'll drop the bar on your neck, which is super shit. As a side...
Yeah, that's also sound advice. And I gotta say, I also appreciate him acknowledging that there's value in both low rep, high weight, and high rep, lower weight exercises, right? You do have to blend it up. And, you know, my basic breakdown in when I do lift looks a lot like his.
Side note, if you're new to lifting, then make sure you have a spotter for bench press. If you don't have one, then just do flat dumbbell press instead. The rest time for this is about 2 minutes between sets, or whenever you feel comfortable going again. I want to make a point here. When you lift, there are 3 types of form you can use. Good form, bad form, and cheat form. Good form is when you have good pace, control, and positioning. Good form will give you the maximum amount of gains and dramatically reduce the chance of injury. You want 90% of your reps to be in good form. Bad form is when your positioning, pace, and control is fucking shit, so you make next to no gains and you're super injury prone. Cheat form is when your pace and control is meh, but your positioning is okay. With cheat form, you aren't getting the kind of gains you get with good form, but the chance of injury is still pretty low. Cheat form isn't always a no-no. If you're up to the 7th rep and you bench press and you want to squeeze out that 8th one, but you can't do it with good form, then you can add a little bit of cheat form in there to finish it off. Cheat form for bench would be stuff like bouncing the bar off your chest to build momentum in the lift, or slightly lifting your bum off the bench to generate extra power. Bad form is stuff like your body twisting or your elbows flaring unevenly during the lift. Basically anything that makes your lift asymmetrical in any way is bad form.
Yeah, that's true. And okay, I really hope that there's a big cadre of people that go to the gym for the first time after having watched this video, because you will see all of those sins be committed, and it's pretty hilarious. The classic... So, okay, I'm of the position that if you can't do a rep perfectly, you shouldn't do the rep. Again, I'm someone who, my holy grail, if I never get any bigger than I am now, you know what, I'd be still disappointed. But that's not my primary focus, right? My primary focus is injury prevention and being able to sustainably continue to train for a long time. time. So for me, anything that even marginally increases the risk of injury, I'm never going to make that trade-off for weight or for reps. If I can't do an 8th rep perfectly, guess what? I do 7 reps. And I think for new lifters, that's the attitude to have. Don't chase weight, chase perfect form, and your body will grow over time. The lifting contest, and I got into them in college, and that's, again, how I screwed up my chest for basically a year, 2 years, is because I was too cool for school. I had to keep up with my buddy. I couldn't let him beat me on bench press, and I kept hurting myself because that's dumb. So yeah.
Give yourself another pat on the back. Your chest is probably feeling pretty tight right now. It's time to hit it with a finishing blow, a superset. A superset is when you combine 2 exercises and do them consecutively without rest. Supersets and drop sets are really how you shred your muscles and get jacked as fuck. For chest, we're going to superset flat dumbbell flies as well as closed grip dumbbell press. This way we're hitting the inner chest as well as the outer pec. Start with the dumbbell flies. Grab a light weight, lie flat on the bench, and put the dumbbells up in front of your face and slightly bend your arms. Now lock your body and arms and slowly lower your arms until they're flat. Do not go below this point as it risks injury and it begins to engage different muscles. Now bring your arms up to the starting position. Do this nice and slow 10 times. You should be able to feel a squeeze at the top. Once you finish that, grab your dumbbells, can be the same ones or slightly heavier, lie down, bring the dumbbells in front of your face and then connect them together. Now keeping them connected, bring them down to your chest, then bring them back up to the start position. Do not let the dumbbells disconnect. Do this 10 times. Congrats, you just finished 1 out of 3 sets. Do this 2 more times with about 1 minute 30-second rest in between and...
Okay, I gotta say, I really appreciate his commitment to disciplining rests. Bodybuilding isn't really about cardiovascular fitness. It's pretty secondary, but it's really important to reproduce your lifts every time, right? Because here's the thing, right? What if you waited a half hour between sets on your primary? Well, of course you're going to do better than if you waited the prescribed 3 minutes. But 1, your workout will take forever. And 2, you won't really have good data because you'll just be resting your way to better performance every time. So you won't know if you're making gains or if you're just having longer recoveries. And if you've been to the gym, and it drives me absolutely insane when I see it at the gym in my apartment building, where I have completed my entire workout, which is, 35, 40 minutes, my whole workout, and I've seen multiple people get max 3 sets on the bench. And I'm just like, bro, you're not even working out. You're on your phone with some activities. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm sure you guys have seen it too. But if you're showing up in the gym, then do your workout. And part and parcel to that is disciplining the time you spend lollygagging between sets. Again, as someone who was in the military, an MMA fighter, and frankly just always time constrained, I hate, truly, in the bottom of my heart, people that lollygag between sets. I mean, if you're there for a big lift day, that's different. But I know. You can see when somebody's playing Candy Crush between sets of curls and you just want to throw them off a bridge. But don't. That wasn't a call to violence. That was a parody.
Holy shit, your chest is going to feel fucked. In terms of weight, you want it to feel heavy enough so you feel fucked, but light enough so that you can complete the superset without failing. To finish off chest day, now we're going to hit some triceps. Now your triceps are probably already feeling pretty tight and tired, as a lot of chest exercises, especially the ones we've done, also engage your shoulders and your tris. I used to do shoulders on chest day, but I moved them to its own day because I was always too fatigued and I couldn't really get much progress or good lifts on shoulders when I was grouping it with chest. To kick off triceps, grab a dumbbell, because we're doing flat dumbbell tricep extension. This is mint because it hits your chest, shoulders and triceps. If you do it properly, which I'll show you how to do, it really annihilates your triceps. Grab the dumbbell, lie down and rest it on your chest. Now form a diamond with your hands over the dumbbell grip. Then grip the dumbbell and lift it off your chest. Bring it out so that it's not in front of your face. Now bend your elbows and lower the weight. Bring it back up and do this 10 times. Try not to let it come in front of your face at all. If you feel like you're losing the grip, just bring it back to your chest. Quickly adjust the grip and continue the set. Do this for 3 sets with about a minute 30-second rest in between. The final exercise of today is tricep pull downs. These are really good if you do them correctly.
Yeah. Oh, man. This is another one that I've seen like a parody level of nonsense in the gym. I actually do hit these. And yeah, the number of people who like literally get their shoulders over it and like shove them down and are like, I'm getting stronger is insane. Again, I think in a college gym, this is like the number one thing you see is people cheating on these sort of like exercises. Yeah.
It's really easy to fuck this up and get nothing out of it. You can position your body pretty much however. Slightly bent, stand up straight, very bent, that part doesn't matter. The part that matters is that you lock your elbows in place when you pull the rope down. No matter how my body is positioned, my elbows and triceps are not moving. You also don't want to allow the rope to come too far up between reps, as this will remove tension from your tris and give you micro rests, hence hurting your gains. So overall, the movement is actually quite small. You'll know you're doing it correctly because your triceps will feel like they're about to explode like a hospital in the Gaza Strip. Do this for 10 reps.
Jesus, dude. Shit.
3 sets with a short rest in between, and voila, you are done. The whole workout should take about an hour and a half depending on how much you rested. Congratulations. Drink your protein drink and prepare to feel like absolute rectum tomorrow. If you aren't an advanced lifter, you would have just raped your chest beyond anything it's ever felt before. And tomorrow and the day after and maybe the day after, you're going to be incredibly sore, which we love. If you guys want to learn how to equally rape the rest of your body, then like, share and subscribe. The better this does, the sooner I pump out the other ones. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Okay, all right, dedicating an hour and a half to your chest is, to me, ridiculous, absurd. If you're a professional level bodybuilder or a competitive bodybuilder, sure, yeah, Raj, got it. But if you're a fitness hobbyist and you have 90 minutes in the gym and you're dedicating it entirely to your chest, I think that's a waste. I mean, again, you're talking to somebody, I've always been time constrained, right? My wife and I, we joke that neither of us can say no. We all have a gazillion extracurriculars, writing papers, running studies. I run 2 YouTube channels, teach jiu-jitsu, have a full-time day job. And I'm learning Spanish. So for me, an hour and a half in the gym, it's not unheard of. But usually if I'm going to spend an hour and a half, it's going to be doing, my primary martial art activity, right? I'm going to be doing my jiu-jitsu. But, yeah, I question, because here's the thing, right? You spend an hour and a half on chest alone, and then you're going to do, an hour and a half on biceps, triceps. You're going to do an hour and a half on biceps and shoulders, and then you're going to do an hour and a half on, abs and back, and when are your legs going to show up? Like, you're going to have one day for leg day? That's not my philosophy. I have a way more time efficient workout, but admittedly, I don't look like Majorkill. Majorkill is a bigger, probably leaner dude than I am. Who's got the right answer? Again, let me know if you guys wanted to see like my breakdown of how I trained when I was an MMA fighter, what sort of workouts we did in the Army, and what sort of stuff I do now as a 34-year-old hobbyist who still competes regularly. But yeah. I mean, honestly, if this gets more people into the gym now that things are opening up, I am all about it. And this wasn't a fundamentally unsound workout. Again, my biggest complaint, I have one other qualm, and I'm a big believer that there are some things you should do every workout, and I believe that core work is one of them. And that doesn't necessarily mean every workout you're doing sit-ups, but like every workout I do core stands at the very end. And I think that's great because it builds my stability around the entire core of my body, and that really prevents injury when I, again, am doing jiu-jitsu, doing my wrestling, and even when I'm lifting. Almost every lift involves engaging your core, and so as an injury prevention technique, I think hitting that core at the end of your workout every time, or 3 days a week, is essential. So I'm a big fan of some of those standardized stuff. I've also started doing a standardized lunges at the end of every workout because I worry about asymmetry and some weakness in my hip flexors that I've been noticing. But yeah, so I just do like very, very lightweight and kind of like one leg like squat lunges. But again, you can see I'm not thinking like Majorkill here. I think I have a different set of priorities. But overall, guess what? You won't go wrong by following Majorkill's video. And of course, shout out to him for achieving the ultimate bro dream of having people throw money at you to work out. Also, shout out to him for knowing to use the overhead lighting. That's a classic bro move, right? Overhead lighting really lets the contrast in your muscles show, whereas like direct facing you lighting never does. Again, check out UFC promo photos and stuff. If you see how it is, they love having them like walk into an overhead light, and that's to make them look super jacked. All right, that's all I got. Thank you. Be sure to check out Majorkill's video himself. You saw me shoot it a like. You guys should shoot it a like too. He seems like a good guy. And also let me know what you think of the mustache and if you want any other videos and stuff to cover. And and tomorrow, live streaming. Warhammer 40K Space Marine, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Join me. And you can make me do pull-ups. I've actually got a pull-up bar back there, and I'm going to do some sort of gimmick where you guys can make me do reps and reps of pull-ups. All right, see you guys later.